How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today I've got something a little bit different from my usual videos, and something pretty unexpected actually happened in-game, and that was that one of my subscribers, Angry Canuck, actually sent me a tank in-game for free. It was just as a gift, and that was the Eradicator, the Tier 8 Premium British heavy tank with the auto-loading 32-pounder. And yeah, I was just absolutely amazed that someone would actually be that generous as to give me a tank in game using their own gold, which obviously costs money if you were to purchase the gold. I was just, yeah, it was crazy. I was very thankful for that, and yeah, I'm really pleased that I was able to actually pick this tank up. I'd wanted it for quite a while, and yeah, it definitely looks and plays really well. I mean, I've got a couple of gameplays here for you guys. We'll go over what the tank is like and just basically summarise that up. But I just want to say thank you for all of the support recently, and just anything that you do on the channel. Basically, just, you know, for those of you that like the videos, watch the videos, just anything is much appreciated. And I just thought I'd say that. There's 1,360 of you so far, which is crazy, and yeah, I'm really do appreciate that. And so, without me being all emotional and sentimental, we'll move straight into the gameplay now. But yeah, once again, thank you very much, Angry Canuck, for basically giving me the opportunity to make this tank review. And yeah, just thanks very much. So, something that's particularly special about this Tier 8 British Premium Heavy tank is that it gets a 32-pounder, which you might already know, similar to that of all of the other heavy tanks on the normal tech tree that you can get. But this one actually has a 3-shot auto-loading gun with a clip potential of, I believe, 840, which is actually fantastic for really pushing out some damage on you know, if you're battling up close and personal with different tanks, then you can really push that damage out and be able to hold your own against certain opponents. You do get quite a long reload time, and the shell delay in between the shots is 2 seconds, I believe, so you'll be around 21-second reload. That's with all of the DPM buffs that you can get on the tank, and also the commanders and the equipment, consumables, etc. if you fully kit this tank out. So we're going to go into what the gun is like, and yeah, it's really accurate. It's fantastic on the move, very similar to the British tanks. They're all really good on the move. Since you only go 36 kilometers forward, that makes it even better. So the dispersion is very little, and you can actually put rounds in to opponents that you're shooting at. And as you can see on screen, if you put the vertical stabilizer, which just increases accuracy by 20%, it becomes just, you know, if you miss your shot, it's generally down to you. Very little RNG reliant in this tank. I've kitted this out with 15 premium rounds, just for those situations where, you know, you may need premium rounds if you're gonna have to carry. But with 220 average penetration on your standard rounds, you really don't need 252 on those premium rounds. Just in case, you know, if maybe you meet your tier 10. Then yeah, you can reliably pen them with 252, but even with your standard, if you're aiming for weak spots, you'll be able to pick that up. Concealment is terrible, so you're not going to be able to really spot in this thing, but you know, increasing your view range with some of the perks can really help with spotting enemies that might be trying to use their vision to be able to take you out. But just increasing that just basically reduces the chance of you just getting hit by invisible tanks. So yeah, this tank is fantastic, and I am very thankful that I got this as a gift. It's my first and only, but yeah, just once again, thank you, Angry Canuck, for sending me this. I want to also just hop into the gameplay now and just show you exactly how it can play in a good tier matchup. This is after the most recent update on the 26th of January, so this is literally the game as it is right now, and we'll just look at that in just a second. Now, the gameplay is actually on El Haluf. This is one map that I actually really enjoy. I like it for every single tank type. I feel like there's something for everyone on this map, and with an autoloader this map is kind of better for you as a general rule, just because you can push out that 3 shots of damage on the corner to one tank very quickly, and therefore you don't have to wait around for just as long as that you may generally have to wait to reload in different tanks. You just reduce the chance that you're out in the open against other enemies, and it just generally means that you can push out damage quite quickly. Reducing the time that you're available to be shot is also, well, it's really good, isn't it? Because you don't want to be out for too long. If you only have to poke yourself for a couple of seconds rather than continuous, and only once, rather than continuously poking, then it's obviously better. Now, in every tank I pretty much go left on this map up to the brawling area to use my gun depression. I generally don't play tanks that have really low gun depression generally, but that doesn't mean that when I don't have gun depression I go up there, because you can use different positions up in that corner. If you're in the base, it just means that if your team wins, you don't really get enough damage, and that's something like your chance to actually push the game forward and make some opportunities arise just isn't there when you do that. And being influential in a game is what I find really fun about this game, and where I really find my enjoyment comes from. So the beginning of this game, yeah, I was AFK for a little bit, which is annoying, but it doesn't matter that much. But I come back and we get straight back into the action. We're going to push up to this position up here and really show you exactly what this tank can do. This isn't the highest damage game I've had. I have got another one that I can show, which I did 5.5k, but we did lose and I got less XP, I believe, just because we lost. So it would have been more if we won, but it doesn't matter that much. And so here you go. Most tanks actually don't realise that in this tank that you can actually pen multiple times. We try and put a shot there into the Carnarvon, but we miss. So the auto-loading factor of this tank being able to push out 840 damage onto your opponents means that they generally at tier 8 will never be able to deal that much damage back to you. It's been quite nice as well because of the Barasks that have been flooding the game and just YOLOing at people to do their 720 alpha damage, that if you catch them at the right position, you can really take them out of the game very, very quickly, and it's not necessarily worth it for them if they YOLO you. So you do have that kind of avoidance factor on some of the other tanks in the game, so they won't push around a corner just to thump you for a couple of shots of damage. And as you can see here, we kind of move up and push the advantage here, because I know that we've won this flank basically, given that the amount of tanks we've got and where they're positioned, how much health they're on, etc. So I'm just trying to really push some vision and avoid getting hit by artillery as you see a shell come straight in there. So we've lost nearly half our health, not ideal, but we have kind of been that driving force in the team. We haven't got that much damage, but it's at the point in the game where their team's kind of crumbling and we can really just get shots out without even taking any damage whatsoever in return. So there you go, we shut down the SU-130 PM. Don't like that tank, it's too campy, it's just a power creep tank. It's just that powerful that it just kind of I don't like tanks like that, because I just think that when you release a tank that's that good, it just becomes the standard then for the next premiums, because no one wants to buy a premium that's just worse than the other ones that you have. And so if you don't release one, then people aren't going to buy it, and therefore the process just gets worse and worse, where you're just constantly sending out more and more overpowered tanks into the game, and that's not something I want to see for this one. But that's a whole different ball game. I mean, the tank I'm playing is fairly good. It's very competitive if you can put it in the right situations. The turret armor, however, is not fantastic, I'm not going to lie. The weak spots of this is basically that top bit of the turret, that huge cupola that you can see kind of peeking up. It does get kind of protection from heat rounds just on the side, where that shield is a bit like the Super Conqueror and the Conqueror gets. But it's nothing major, and it's not really that good of a protection for this tank. And yeah, we've pushed out 3,100 damage nigh on, and we've got 862 assistance damage, which is not bad for this tank. You don't tend to get that much assistance in a tank like this. We try and put one round into the Diamondback, but it doesn't matter. We knew that the Panther was there, but I wanted to get rid of the Diamondback because that was really the thing that could have taken us out. But then we get rid of the Panther anyway because the Diamondbacks managed to escape. We pull back now because obviously we're reloading with our autoloader, as the Diamondback just gets shut down by my platoon mate in the kind of the tier 8 Burt. Yeah, and he gets taken out, which is nice. Brask's on full health now, well, pretty much, against an SU 130 PM on our team, and I'm just hoping that, you know, the Brask comes over this way to give us a bit more damage before he dies, inevitably. In this kind of situation, I don't think that the Brask has the kind of... It's not right in this kind of situation to be able to fend off against 6 tanks before it dies. So yeah, now we're going to push up. There's only the artillery left, and this has been like a fairly decent game. I wanted to give you one that kind of showed you just what the tank can do, just what its weak spots are, which are basically the turret is not particularly great. The hull armor is not fantastic either. Most tanks can go through the upper plate of the tank, especially TDs and any other equal tiered. I mean, the higher or the lower tier tanks that you might come up against, you know, tier 6s and 7s, generally might have a bit of a harder time if you angle the tank. But other than that, I think the armor is pretty weak. In general, I mean, it's similar with the British tier 9, 10. It's basically the heavies on the British line. They tend to have pretty weak hull armor, where if you're aiming at their weak spot, which is this big lower plate on the bottom of this, and also the upper plate being pretty weak, as you can see, you can still push out the damage. So 4,000 damage, 1,000 assists, 6 kills, brothers in arms, you know, 2,000 base XP, and it still wasn't a mastery badge. I have had a mastery badge, but it was on a loss, and so I didn't really want to showcase that. I tend to only like showcasing the wins. I've had a few 5k damage games in this, and it certainly is able to push out damage consistently for me. I think I average about 2.6k damage every game so far, and yeah, it's been a decent one, and I'm very thankful once again that I was able to get gifted this tank for free and I didn't have to pay anything. It was absolutely amazing, and I just want to, you know, say thanks. And I thought making a video about it would be a good way to show my appreciation and just highlight to you guys that, you know, I'm really appreciative of all of the support you've been giving recently, and yeah, I'm just very thankful once again. So I hope you guys did enjoy this kind of fairly short tank review. It wasn't a full tank review because I tend to like doing those after I've 3-marked the tank, and I haven't yet on this tank. I think I'm at like 77% on the marks in about 50 games or something. So yeah, I will try and push that out fairly soon, but I've got a lot of different video ideas that I'm coming up with to really push out in the next month or so. Obviously we've got the new season, so there's a lot of information with that I want to show you guys, and I've got a few guides that I want to carry on with after this video, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content so far. If you want to support me any further, then obviously a like and a comment is more than enough for me. But yeah, if you want to play a game potentially on Xbox or PS4, because obviously we've got the crossplay now, you can add me with the gamer tag Titan Eclipse. There's a space in between the Titan and the Eclipse, and there's 2 eyes in Titan. You can see it in game if you look on the scoreboard previously, if you want to see exactly what it's written like, but I hope you guys can get enough from that. So if you want to add me, there you go, you can do it in game, and I'll more than likely accept your invite. Anyway guys, that is literally it for the video. I hope you guys once again enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye. See ya.